What's up, everyone? This is Soul with a React video blog reading sort of thing. We're going to read along together. Uh, this comes right after a blistering set of dungeons. Really exciting. But we're going to look at what is going to happen in patch 10.1.5. Whatever this thing is called. What is it called again? Fractures in Time. Like the video, subscribe for more content. Let's get going. While adventurers breach Neltharian's secret laboratory in Aberys, the Shadowed Crucible, the next content update is making its way onto the Peter, including a whole new specialization for Dragonflight Evokers, Ian, you liar, a new mega dungeon, Dawn of the Infinite, so it's going to be timey-wimey stuff, and much more. So chat spoiled me on this. On the spec thing, I was like, stop it! But oh well, still very exciting. Okay, so we have a new thing here, which highlights a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so what do we? Okay, so new mega dungeon, new evoker support spec augmentation. Is this going to be a new role or what? So let's find out. New public event, Time Rifts. Hopefully it'll be better than the expedition stuff that's going on. New questline and dailies, Whelp Daycare. The Kalimdor Grand Prix. Ooh. Okay, forget the spec. This is exciting to me. Warlock race updates. So they're next. Warlock pet customizations and returning player improvements. And then all this stuff here is, we don't know. Okay. So, new Evoker spec augmentation. Oh, this dude's excited too. Hell yeah. Okay, Emberthal and Abyssian are working together to release the Black Dragonflight essence that had been siphoned from the Dractyr during their long stasis, unlocking memories and powers forgotten to them. All Evokers can now choose to explore Azeroth as a new specialization augmentation. Read more about this new specialization in our preview article. Yeah, we will. New mega dungeon, Dawn of the Infinite. Ooh, that's a bizarro chromie. You can kind of see over there. The Infinite Dragonflight, long-standing enemies of the Bronze Dragonflight, have worked hard to see their ultimate goal of triggering the transformation of Nosdormu, the aspect of time, into Murazand. The 8-boss Mythic-only dungeon will take players across the timeways to stop the Infinite Dragonflight from succeeding. You'll face Iridikron and Galakron, among others, as you work to sustain Azeroth's timeline and put things to rights once more. There's gonna be a spine of Galakron. Watch. Unravel the time streams. Join together for time rifts. The time streams have been a bit more unstable with recent events, and as the boundaries between the timelines weaken, minions from other timelines have begun making their way into Azeroth. Players will join together to take on time rifts, push back against the waves of minions, and plug the hole to set the timeways straight again. Sounds like assaults in time. Eon's Fringe, which I was very curious about. We've never seen anything about this. Undertake new repeatable content in Eon's Fringe as you work to settle the timeways and solve the problems brought about by their instability while reaping the rewards of a job well done. Yeah, this place mystified me. I had no idea what was going on here, so cool. And a Whelp Daycare. This one's coming out of left field. All right, the dragons have more eggs than they can handle, so they called in the crew at the Little Scales daycare to help. The crew quickly finds itself overwhelmed and so has asked for a little help from their friends, as in you, the Titan-slain champion of Azeroth. You're going to guide 5 dragon whelps as they grow and learn about the dragonflights, earn renown, and more. Cool. Warlock expands to new races. In the Fractures in Time content update, the Warlock class will be available to Night Elves, Draenei, Lightforged Draenei, Pandaren, Kultiran, Tauren, High Mountain Tauren, Mag'har Orcs, and Zandalari Trolls. All of y'all. So I think this is everybody. Does this make it everybody, or are we still missing anyone? Because it sounds like everybody. So Lightforged Draenei. Cool. I've always seen warlocks as a choice thing. Like you make less than moral decisions. I choose to embrace the fell. Fell yeah. Is what I gotta say. Fell yeah. Now, as for Lightforge Draenei, like all of a sudden exploding because they embrace the fell, and then it makes the little Lightforge implants like skaboosh. Oh well. Will the story now? One question is: will a story be told on this? Because what we've seen before, we haven't seen much on that. It's just like, okay, they just happen to be always a thing, but who knows? We could always just make up our own story too, so whatever. And then class talent updates, blah, 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 blah. Fractions of the Time content update will be making its way to the PTR soon. Keep an eye on the official stuff. Okay, cool, whatever. Augmentation Evokers. So let's see what's going on. Emberthal and Epician are working together to release the Black Dragonflight essence that have been siphoned from the blah blah blah. Okay, the result of their efforts will be felt by all Dracther Evokers as they'll gain access to a brand new specialization, Augmentation, available immediately with the release of the Fractures in Time update. What is the Augmentation spec? Well, according to the tooltip here, it says, imbues allies with the might of the Black Dragons and bends time and fate in their favor with bronze magic. Preferred weapon, blah blah blah, primary stat, still blah blah blah. Augmentation is a new damage dealer role with a twist. They can use the essence of the Black and Bronze Dragonflights to amplify the abilities of nearby allies. The playstyle for this new specialization involves empowering your allies with a variety of beneficial effects. Some can be cast directly on your allies, while others are tied to using your damage-dealing abilities effectively. Augmentation Evokers deliver their damage in a wholly unique way. They act as force multipliers, increasing their group's capabilities significantly. All right, augmenting allies. Certain augmentation abilities buff either your whole party or specific members. Many of these have smart or proximity-based automatic targeting, enabling you to maintain focus on the battlefield and enemy selection. You'll still be able to target specific party members if you desire. However, there's plenty of freedom to bolster your allies as you see fit. Like the other Evoker specs, Augmentation makes use of familiar capabilities like spending essence, using your mobility to navigate the battlefield effectively, and making use of empowered spells. Oh, that's cool how they diagram that stuff. Range, vertical, boom, target dummy. Doesn't really show much empowering there, but cool. The power of Black and Bronze. These sample abilities for Augmentation should give you an idea of what each aspect of magic brings to the table. Black Dragonflight magic focuses on raw power increases and forceful outbursts of earthen might. Bronze Dragonflight magic is all about bending time, changing fate, and shifting timelines to tremendous effect. So, for example, Ebon Might. 30-second cooldown, quick cast. Increase your 4 nearest allies' primary stats by a percentage of your own, and cause your eruption to deal more damage for 10 seconds. Some of your other spells extend the duration of these effects, okay? So very clearly, stat increase, so straight stat increases, not something that, on a meter or a log, that's not going to translate into something that the Evoker does unless somehow those sorts of modifications can be reflected in advanced combat logging, which I kind of doubt because it's just stats here. Eruption, 2-second cast, Essence Spender, replaces Disintegrate. Interesting. Cause a violent eruption beneath an enemy's feet, dealing volcanic damage splits between them and nearby enemies, increases the duration of your active Ebon Might effects. So 2-second cast, essence thing. So this is otherwise a 30-second cooldown. So you want to try to extend this to like what, maybe 20 seconds or something like that. We don't know how much this will increase that, but it kind of gives us the idea of a rotation sort of thing. And Upheaval, 40-second cooldown. Gather earthen power beneath your enemy's feet, hurl them upwards, dealing volcanic damage. Empowering, it's an empower thing, increases the duration of your active Ebon Might effects. Again, so this is kind of like open the fight, do this, and then do the start doing things in order to extend the duration of the stuff. Okay, Breath of Eons replaces Deep Breath, the big one. The big one. Fly to the targeted location, exposing temporal wounds on enemies in your path for 10 seconds. Temporal wounds accumulate a portion of damage dealt by your allies and then critically strike the enemy for that amount at the end of the duration. Increases the duration of your ebb and might effects again. Oh, that's neat. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be a different way of DPSing. So it's like pump, 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 but what you're doing, you're kind of taking advantage of other people's pump and cooldown usage, and then turn it into your own additional damage. I'll comment on this more later. Great display of talents. This tells me nothing. With access to a brand new spec, Evokers can choose to further specialize in bronze or black magic, as well as discover new ways to power up allies, like Draconic Attunements. Learn to attune yourself to the essence of the bronze or black Dragonflights. Black Attunement grants you and your 4 nearest allies more health. Bronze Attunement grants you and your 4 nearest allies more speed. Blistering Scales. Protect an ally with explosive dragon scales. Increases their armor by a percentage of your own. Melee attacks against them cause a scale to explode, dealing trinket-like effects. Okay. Bestow Wernstone. Conjure a pair of Wernstone, one for your target ally and one for yourself. A Wernstone can be activated by the bearer to transport them to the other Wernstone's locations if they are within 100 yards. How can we exploit that? 100 yards. So wouldn't that be like an easy, do easy death pulls and stuff? I guess that would only work out so like Evoker, or like the healer yeets off, goes off to the spot. No, I don't think that would work out. But I'm just trying to think of ways they could take advantage of that. Expand your horizons. Augmentation Evokers offers a unique opportunity to delve into a playstyle never seen before in WoW. While we're still working on some aspects of this new paradigm, like introducing some new combat log hooks, it's exactly what we're talking about. So that add-ons and community websites can effectively measure your performance. For example, we hope you enjoyed this early look at it. We'll see you in the Dragon Isles. So this is a 0.5 thing. It's what a lot of people predicted. Here's me trying to up my clout. I was saying that they were going to get a third spec, but it's going to be either a tank or just another DPS spec, but with a twist. It doesn't look like it's going to be designed as as a 0 DPS spec, and all they do is empower people, not like some other games. But this is it's a neat twist, but we're definitely not seeing enough of what's going on to really get how this concept is going to work out. Now, some of the biggest arguments against this, or that make us very skeptic of this sort of specialization, or otherwise trying to introduce not exactly a new role, but it's definitely leaning in that direction of, hey, the performance of the Evoker is largely dependent on the performance of the rest of the team. If the rest of the team isn't doing so great, the Evoker is only going to be able to take so much advantage of what they're capable of. So, on the other hand, would as long as an Evoker is able to do kind of the bare minimum, it's going to help the team do that much better. Is it going to come to that point where, even in small group content, an Evoker is going to feel required for that? So there's going to be a lot of conversations about how this is going to work out in small group content, larger group content, mythic content. Is this going to... It's going to immediately be like a must-have. 10.1.5, gotta have it, straight up. 10.2, same thing, gotta have at least one in every raid group. Do we need to have one in every dungeon group, though? Probably not. I think that's going, you know, I think the way that some of these abilities work out, I'd like to think that no, it doesn't need to. But I'm also, you know, and at least they're not offering things that don't seem to be possible with anyone else. Although the whole ebb and might thing, how much of the primary stat is this really? You know, how much is it going to work out? And the thing is, like, whoever is going to be this, whoever's going to play as an augment evoker, do we have a good nickname for that? Pre-evoker, de-evoker, aug-evoker? Aug-evoker? Is that gonna work? Nah, probably not. If the person who is taking up this role, if they're not great at it, everyone suffers. And that's gonna, you know, this is like pretty high, you know, because it's like kind of a new role. It's gonna be very high skill. There's gonna be a very high skill cap, I think, and people aren't gonna be used to it. It's gonna feel awkward, no doubt. Someone's asking, is having more than one redundant? So in the earlier part of the blog, it said that this is going to target the right people. Who says, man? Who says it's the right people? Increase your 4 nearest allies' primary stat by a percentage of your own. So is it going to be like the highest people? Is it going to make the strongest people even stronger? Is it going to shore up weaknesses? Is it going to strengthen the people who have like the lowest item level, like the lowest primary stats? How's that going to work out? Is it going to, yeah, it's going to be a lot of questions that we have that we don't quite know. So let me pull up some of what chat is saying here. So some people are like, okay, the warlock reactions, that's definitely one thing. Let's see, priest PI and augment from a Drac. This equals DPS fighting for the buffs. Now the thing is, like, if some of these, if Ebb and Might is like an automatic thing and we don't know, then that's out of the player's hands. So I guess in Evoker Spec, or this Evoker Spec, it does create that sort of social tension. Like, oh, who's going to be taking advantage of it? Oh, is it going to like the other people? Well, screw them. I don't even want them. I don't even want them on my team anymore. So I think we're going to have questions, and then we're going to make up stuff and get mad about it, but we're just going to kind of see and wait. Demon Hunters are on suicide watch after this. I'm not quite sure which spec might feel, or which spec or class might feel like they're in danger of never getting into a group. But I do feel like there needs to be something that I feel like something's got to be done about raid buffs overall. Raid buffs, group buffs, things like that. Where, you know, it ought to be okay to either not have either just not have a certain class or whatever, and not feel bad about it, because it feels like for example, I guess a Demon Hunter would be one. It's like they're only there because they bring a certain thing, and it's like, okay, we gotta have one. Okay, we might as well. That doesn't feel very valuable to me, and I feel like we ought to return to more of a bring a player, not the class thing. Of course, Evokers are like, well, here I come to challenge that. So what else are people saying really quick? Not too much. As a new Evoker, already feels like half of the new characters I see are Evokers. So there's a lot to soak in. And hopefully the PTR will be up over, in the next day or so, or perhaps the day. But we're going to find out, hopefully in the first build, and they'll be testable, and we'll be able to check stuff out and otherwise talk smack. But what do you guys think? Leave a comment, and like the video, subscribe for more stuff as we go over all these new things that are going on. Stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, stay breezy.